Daniel in Los Angeles?
Hello.
What?
Hello.
Hello?
Is it Dan?
Hi?
Have a question.
Okay.
How should I tell my parents I'm an atheist?
How old are you?
13.
Okay. I'm sorry, I have an urge to look up to my left because we've got a
That's where the
speaker
sound
up
is,
there,
I know.
and it sounds like the voice of God coming down at us. You're 13,
And
so
what
you're
about
going
your
to be
parents?
living in your house for another 5 years at least, probably.
Mm-hmm.
What are your parents like?
Really religious.
Okay.
Like what does really religious mean in your house?
Like, we go to church every Sunday, right? And my mom's a Catholic and my dad's a Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
How do they get along?
I don't know, but they do somehow.
If I were in that situation, I'd be tempted to stir up trouble and identify the key points of where they differ on their religion and ask, "Hey, Mom, how do you feel about this?" But I don't know if that's actually good advice.
Well, it's weird because on the one hand, I mean, if they're able to be respectful of one another with those sorts of differences standing between them,
that's a good point.
then maybe what is okay? You know these people, you've lived with them all your life. What do you anticipate as a realistic reaction to this news?
Are you thinking?
Yes.
So you come forward, you Mom and Dad, I don't believe in God. What do you think they would react like based on what you know
what
about
are you going to see?
Because I used to believe in God, until I watched your show, and then I'm like, oh, God doesn't exist.
Okay.
And I was the one that went to church the most.
But I'm still not getting a feel for what you think they would react like.
Oh, they would probably smack me or something.
Well, I mean, okay, the question comes down to, are they going to find out sooner or later anyway? Because if it turns out they're going to find out, and 5 years of living with them is a pretty long time, and as I've discovered, the longer people remain atheists, the more outspoken they get, and that makes it harder and harder to...
How are they raising you right now, Daniel? I mean, where do you go to church? How do you fit into this JW Catholic situation?
You don't know where you go to church?
Do you go to church, or how do they raise you?
Okay, they take me. I'm sorry, a little shy.
Okay. Do they take you to a Catholic church?
Or are you going to a temple?
Like, we don't go to Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
Okay, so both of them go to a Catholic church?
Uh-huh.
Okay. There's never an easy answer.
If you honestly think that they would hit you, I would say don't say anything. I mean, I would never advise somebody to come forward with anything if they really thought that they would be violent with you.
Unless they hit you anyway, routinely. I mean, then it's just another thing that's going to set them off.
Yeah, because right now you have to keep in mind that at 13, you're subject to these people.
It's true.
I mean, they have control over you, and they can force you to go to a church. They can make your life a living hell. You can have the next 5 years of hell with parents who are just breathing down your neck and giving you a hard time. And we've actually heard from people who have been thrown out of their houses over this issue.
Right. The good news, though, is it gets better. 5 years seems like a long time when you're 13 because that's almost half your life. But, by the time you get to 18 and beyond and you're kind of free of your parents' influence, maybe you just won't look back.
And that's true. I mean, it does seem like a long time, but in some situations, it's better to just go through the motions. Don't say anything. Don't talk about it. Just kind of, deal with what you have to deal with to get through it, and then once you're out of the house...
Okay, we're going to have to drop because there's a lot of noise on
But
the
once
line.
you're out of the house, yeah, you've got a long life ahead of you, and you can pretty well do whatever you need to do at that point without having somebody else be in control of your living situation.
Right. Okay, well, I hope that helps somewhat, and like I said, we never really, don't take our advice as gospel, so to speak.